Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first episode of Satisfactory. Glad you could join us this afternoon. So, today we are going to get our Let's Play started for Satisfactory. So, for those of you that have never played before, Satisfactory is quite simply a factory building game. So, it's all about managing your resources. There's quite a bit of maths involved as well if you want to get your belts balanced exactly so you can get your factories to be as efficient as possible. So Satisfactory takes place on Planet Massage 2ABB, and this is set in the star system of Akicha. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to get straight into it. We're going to run through the tutorials, which allows us to set up our hub, which is our base of operations. And then from there we'll get a few little starter bits done. So we'll get some of the early items running and going. So we're going to set up some miners for the ores, and we'll look at getting some of mainly the iron, the copper and the limestone sorted. So without further ado, let us start a new game. So when you start a new game, you have 4 different zones you can choose to start from. Now it tells you what to kind of expect. So the grass fields is ideal for someone who's never played the game before, just wants to get to grips with it. The rocky desert is suitable for first time pioneers as well, so you can kind of choose both. The first one's more so just to kind of get you to grips with things. You get lower quality of ores quite a lot in the starting zone in the grass fields. The rocky desert, you do get a lot more pure nodes to get started on. The Northern Forest is good for more experienced pioneers, so those that have played a little bit but not a lot. Again, you've got a lot of pure nodes in the Northern Forest, but it's very restricted. So if you want to build big factories, you've got to kind of get creative with the space that you've got. And finally, you've got the Dune Desert. Now this one, they do recommend for advanced pioneers. However, it is my favourite zone because you've got a lot of nodes. They're spread out. There are different purities, but the main thing is you've got a massive area to be able to build from, and I mean it is massive. So what we will do for this playthrough, however, I usually do the Dune Desert, but we're going to switch it up today, and I think we're going to start off in the grass fields. Now we will go across all of these zones hopefully at some stage in this Let's Play, because we're going to have to go all across the map to gain extra recipes, to gain other resources that aren't available readily in this starting zone, and to be able to make the most of all of the resources that we have at hand. So we will go with the grass fields. We're going to again call this Red Spider Nebula. Session type's private, that's just for myself, and the skip intro. So if you wanted to, what we're going to do today, you can just check this box and it completely skips all of the onboarding process, which is setting up the hub, getting your getting the base ready. Doing it without the intro means you can just go straight into building things. Whereas if you do have, go through the intro, you're able to set up the hub from the building blocks, and it kind of teaches you a little bit more about the mechanics of the game itself. So we'll let the introduction play through for you guys so you can enjoy it with myself. We'll get our first conversation with Ada, who is going to be our guide throughout the process.
Attention Pioneer. The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit Pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project assembly. Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings. Chart the planet and gather resources to provide desired results and improve your infrastructure. Make sure to report any unusual discoveries to R&D for analysis. Expand your factories, outposts, and pipelines through automation and augmentation. That's it. Get to work and be effective. Warning, planetfall imminent. Please remain seated during full procedure. Atmospheric entry in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planetfall procedure initialized.
Here we go. There is the grass field.
Planetfall complete. Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%. Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed.
And here is Massive Massage 2ABB.
Welcome to Planet Massage 2 ABB, your designated sector in the binary star system of Akicha. I am Ada, also known as Artificial Directory and Assistant, tasked to support pioneers, such as you, in their mission. You are the third of your sector to survive planetfall. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Note: objective-based introduction initialized. Welcome to onboarding. First objective: please dismantle the drop pod. The resulting materials will be repurposed to construct a habitat and utility base, from now on referred to as the hub. Note: Fixit Incorporated is cost-effective and efficient. We do not waste.
Okay, so this is what we're going to get done for today's episode. So we're going to carry on with the onboarding process and getting the hub set up as Ada's just advised us to do so. So to deconstruct anything, you just click F on your keyboard for Steam and just hold down the F key. And that is now
all important
in our
Fixit data
inventory.
and communication is recorded and stored in the codex, including these steps.
So we'll open up the codex with O as advised, and then jump back out.
Second objective: please ensure you have your Fixit Incorporated Xeno Zapper equipped before leaving the drop zone. Note: according to Fixit regulations, every pioneer should have access to a means of defense against extraterrestrial threats.
There's the manta ray. So we'll tab open the inventory. There is our Xeno Zapper, and that there is the hub parts, which is going to allow us to build the start of the hub.
Third objective: please familiarize yourself with the resource scanner to find iron. Note: the acquisition of iron is considered essential in preparation for all future objectives.
Okay, so what we're going to do from here is I'm just going to head over in this direction, I believe, to where we're going to actually set up our main base operations. So what I'll do is, before I start scanning for the iron, I will head over there, get ourselves in position, and then we shall go from there. So I shall see you there in a moment. Okay then, so this is the area that I'm choosing to use for our base of operations. Now the map continues out that way for quite a bit, so we can build across this relatively low flat water here. So we've got some nice big space that we can take hold of. Now, as I say, it's been a while since I've used this area, so it's probably going to take a bit of off-camera work just to find the best locations for the ores and how to transport stuff to this area. So without further ado, let's let's scan for the ore. So if you hold down the V button, it gives you this HUD display, and this is where you can scan all the different types of materials. So once you find the other materials throughout the game, they'll be split up into sections so you can scan for any item that you wish. There we go, that sends a ping out. As you can see on the top HUD bar, we have got 3 ore nodes within 250 meters and 1 way out in the distance. So we'll head to the nearest one up the bank, which is about 100 meters away now. And here we are. So that's not too bad, that's not too far away. So the next thing we need to do is gather some resources. So as we say, hold down E. And as you can see on the left hand side, we're going to collect an iron ore.
Build the hub. Note: to complete this objective, the resources salvaged from the drop pod will be consumed. Caution: ensure the hub is built on spacious open terrain close to the presence of iron sources. Failure to do so will likely result in non-optimal progress.
Okay, so we've got ourselves a nice chunk of ore. So let's head off back down to where we're going to set up. We'll get the hub placed, as has been suggested. And then we'll see what Ada has in store for us next. So we press the Q button and that gives us the builder menu. So you've got all the different sections down here. So the hub is there. You can also make a craft bench, which we don't need because there is one on the hub. So what happens is it comes out like this, like a real big nice blueprint. Now when it's blue, you can rotate it round, decide where you want to plonk it, and just press the left mouse key to plonk it. Now if it goes red, it means there's something in the way. So you can see there it says a player is in the way, that's me. But if you're trying to build it somewhere like this, it'll say the floor's too steep, so it can't support itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to place this down just here for now. It's not ideal, but when we get set up over the water, we'll have it placed in a more permanent location.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Hub Feature Manual Craft Bench. Hub Feature Hub Terminal. 5th objective: complete Hub Upgrade 1. Note: the craft bench and hub terminal are essential for progression to the next objective.
So we need to use the hub terminal. Now this is where all of our items are used up to allow us to unlock new recipes, new vehicles, new weaponry, etc, etc. So we will enter the terminal and you can see here that we have tier 0 unlocked. Tier 0 is the onboarding process tier. As you can see, hub upgrade number 1. I believe there are 6 upgrades for us to get through, and that will then unlock the next couple of tiers. As you can see here, complete the hub, complete the hub. So you've got tier, that will be tier 1, tier 2, and then you've got tier 3 and 4, which needs the complete space elevator phase 1. 5 and 6 needs phase 2, and 7 and 8 needs phase 3. We'll get into detail in that a little bit later on in the series as and when that arises. So let's get started with the hub upgrade 1. So we can see that we need 10 iron rods. Now if you select this milestone will give us an equipment workshop, a portable miner, and it will increase our inventory slots by 3. So if we click this milestone, you will see underneath here on the right hand side gives you the recipe needed to unlock hub upgrade 1. So we need to make 10 iron rods. Now this is where the iron ore we've just collected comes into play. So we'll go over to the craft bench. We first need to smelt the iron ore into iron ingots. And you can either hold this down with the left mouse key, but as soon as you let go it stops. You can do the same with the space bar, hold that down and then it stops. However, if you just tap it, it will continue to make everything for you. So that's our ingots made. So you can now see on the left hand side we've got other parts we can make. So we've got the iron plates. Now it tells you here that these take 3 iron ingots to give you 2 iron plates. So every 3 iron ingots gives you 2 iron plates. and the iron rods is a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1 ingot gets you 1 rod. So we will make the 10 rods that we need to get hub upgrade 1 done, and all we simply need to do is enter in the hub, double click on the relevant items, that adds them in, and upgrade.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Workshop, Equipment Portable Miner, Inventory Additional Slots, Hub Feature Personal Storage. 6th objective, complete hub upgrade 2. Note, portable miners require no power and will mine a node until their inventory is full. Note, multiple portable miners can be used on a single node.
So we'll head back into the hub terminal and get hub upgrade number 2. And this will give us the smelter, which automates making the ingots so we don't have to craft it by hand. Power line, so we can attach everything together and give it power to work itself. Copper ingots, copper wire, copper cable, and allows us to scan for copper ore. Now this is going to take 20 iron rods and 10 iron plates. So again, we'll select that milestone. So we have the relevant items. Upgrade number 2 completed. So again, we've got even more of the framework built now. So this is the biomass burner she was on about. Now this is your early day power. So if you head into here, you can see that you can insert fuel. Now any building that you go into, any relevant item that you can add to it will always be hotbarred to the top here. So as you can see, we can use flower petals, leaves, or wood to pop in here as fuel, and that will allow the biomass burner to give us 20 megawatts of power. We're going to continue with the hub upgrades, head on into the hub terminal and get hub upgrade number 3, which will give us the constructor, which allows us to make simple items from 1 input and gives us 1 output. The power poles, which we can use the cable to attach all of our power production to our items that are going to be building. The concrete, which is used with limestone, which we'll be able to scan for shortly. The screw recipe and the reinforced iron plate recipe. And this milestone takes 20 plates, 20 rods, and 20 copper wire. Okay. Now, we are going to need to scan for the copper ore so we can make the copper wire. So again, if you hold down the V button, that brings up the scanning HUD, and you can see we've now got copper ore and iron ore available. So if I scan for the copper ore, out goes the blip. And we have a copper node 233 meters that away. So we shall head off in that direction and we will meet you there. Hey! We've got company. The local hostiles taken out. Oh, we got another one. The artwork on these now is just absolutely fantastic. So now that's the local hostiles taken out, we have ourselves a copper node. So what we'll do is we'll mine up a quick 100 or so of these to take back with us, and that will allow us to get started on the rest of the upgrades. So we'll mine this up and head back to the hub. So we're just going to get an equipment workshop set up, and then we're going to make ourselves 4 portable miners. And what we'll do is we'll just go back and drop these off, and we'll put 2 on the iron node and 2 up on the copper node. So we'll go to the iron node, hop over to the copper node, hop back down to the hub, and we'll get moving and grooving onto the next stage. Okay, so we're back at the hub again, and we're just going to make up some more iron ingots. So now we have copper ingots, we're able to make some copper wire. Now the copper wire recipe is 2 ingots to 2 wires, so again a 1-to-1 ratio. So we need 20 of those, and we need 20 of the rods, and 20 of the plates. Okay, so we have the plates, the rods, and the wire. That's upgrade number 3 completed. So then hub upgrade number 4 requires 75 iron plates, 20 copper cable, and 10 concrete. And that will give us the conveyor poles, the first stage of the Mark 1 conveyor belts, and we'll get another 3 inventory slots. So we'll select that and put it up onto the top right of the screen. Okay, so we will now go and scan for some limestone. So we'll just make a few more portable mines to take with us to leave on the limestone node. And what we'll do now is we'll scan for the limestone. So you press the V, heads up display comes up, and we've now got limestone on it. So the blip's going to go out. Hopefully it's not too far away. 300 meters, that's not far. So we'll head over there. On the way we'll grab some of the iron ore. We'll grab some limestone and drop off the miners there. Pop over to the copper and then head back down to the hub. So we're here at the limestone node. It is again another pure node, excellent. We've got no hostiles, so what we shall do is we'll throw down the miners first. Okay, so we're back at the hub, and what I'm going to do this time round is I'm going to set down a couple of smelters just here at the back. We're going to have one for copper ingots, one for iron ingots. We're going to put the ores into those smelters just so we don't have to keep handcrafting everything. It makes it just a little bit easier to progress a bit quicker. So we go into our build menu, go to production, down to smelter, and then again you can just rotate it whichever way you wish. We're not going to worry about the inputs and outputs right now because we're not going to be automating these. It's just purely so we're going to have to handcraft. Excellent. So we're going to need ourselves a power pole. So now we've got the smelters placed down, we'll just quickly get some concrete handcrafted. And as you can see, it is on a 3-to-1 ratio. Okay, copper wire done. So let's get ourselves a power pole. So again, you come into the build menu, down to the power sub menu, power pole mark number 1. Now this says it can have up to 4 power line connections, which means you can connect 4 different things to each power pole. Now you can connect 2 power poles together and daisy chain them, and then from said power poles you can attach buildings to traverse the power across your power network. So we'll chuck the one down here, as we only need 3 connections, and then the power line, which we go from the biomass burner. We have no cable. Okay, we'll go make some cable. Biomass burner to the power pole to the smelter, power pole to smelter number 2. So we shall head into the smelter. So you press E to get into the smelter, and it gives you all the recipes that you can use in this building. So we can make iron ingots and copper ingots. So we're going to have one for iron ingots and one for copper ingots. Now it tells you on the left here you can put copper ore in as the input, which is 30 per minute and gives you 30 iron ingots per minute, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Each smelter takes 4 megawatts of power, and it takes 2 seconds to craft each copper ingot. Similarly, in the iron smelter we've got set up, 30 per minute with 1 ore making 1 ingot, 4 megawatts of power, and 2-second craft time. And now to put some of the leaves into the biomass burner. So again, the insert fuel zone, and as you can see, it's burning 1 leaf every 0.8 seconds. It's at 100% efficiency, and we're getting 20 megawatts of power. So we have a capacity of 20 megawatts, we're consuming 8 megawatts, that's 4 for each smelter. The production that's currently being used is 8 megawatts. Our max consumption is 8 megawatt. As you can see, the lines are nowhere near the capacity. Now, if that does go above the capacity, blows the power grid, everything goes out. So we'll leave those smelters to make their ingots, and we'll get started on the next items for the hub upgrade number 4. So we need 20 cable, already got the 10 concrete, we just need 75 iron plates. Okay, let's complete hub upgrade number 4. So we need 75 plates, 20 wire, 10 concrete, and we're done. So hub upgrade number 5 gives us the Mark 1 miners, the storage container, and another 3 inventory slots. And back to the hub terminal, and 75 rods, 50 wire, cable, sorry, and 20 concrete. Excellent, hub upgrade number 5 completed. Okay, so as Ada said, we have the second biomass burner, which allows us to make another 20 megawatts of power. So we'll head on in and find out what we need for upgrade number 6. So this will allow us to build the space elevator, the biomass burner so we can have them portable, biomass, which is a better fuel than the leaves and the wood. So that is made with leaves, and then the biomass made from wood. And for that we need 100 rods, 100 plates, 100 copper wire, and 50 concrete. So we'll select the milestone, head it up to the right hand side of our HUD. So as you can see from the inventory, we don't have enough iron ingots to make the iron items, so we'll go have another quick run round and clear the miners out, head on back, throw the ores in the smelter, get the ingots made, get the items made, get the hub upgraded. Let's go. Okay, so we did have to go and make a second trip up to the iron miners because we were a little bit short on the iron ingots. So let's get the items we need made. So we need 100 rods, 100 plates, 100 wire, and 50 concrete, which we already have. So then let's get the 6th and final hub upgrade completed. 100 rods, 100 plates, 100 wire, and 50 concrete. Excellent.
Congratulations, you have unlocked building space elevator, building biomass burner, heart, biomass. Motivational message, congratulations, you succeeded in every provided task. On behalf of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your current and future service. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Ada. So as you can see at the top, our objective is now changed to build the space elevator. So the hub terminal has now changed. We now have tiers 1 and tier 2 unlocked, and each one has got its own milestones. So we have in tier 1 base building, logistics and field research. In tier 2 we have part assembly, obstacle clearing, jump pads, resource sink bonus program, and logistics mark 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the base building milestone, because this allows us to get hold of the different basic foundation types. It also gives us a lookout tower and some basic walls. So again, as you can see, we need 200 concrete, 100 iron plates, and 100 iron rods. So again, you select the milestone, it's up on the right hand side. Let's get these items crafted. So we need 200 concrete, 100 plates, and 100 rods. And the difference we get now is we get a big red button to launch the pod. So we'll hit this and head outside and watch it take off.
Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
And away she goes. Okay, so now that we've got the hub fully upgraded and the objective has now moved on to build the space elevator, what we're going to do to finish this episode off is we're going to head over to the limestone node over in the distance, and we're going to set up ourselves a mini production line. Now we're going to do it onto the limestone one because it's a nice, quick and easy one. And then what we'll have done by the time we come back for the second episode is we'll have a similar setup done on the iron node and also on the copper node. So we'll head on over there right now and get that all set up. Okay, so we've cleared out some of the foliage here. And what we're going to do again is head into the build menu and we're going to select the miner Mark 1 first. So you can see down here we need a portable miner. So instead of making another one, we can just collect the ones we already have down. So instead of grab all, you can pick up the miner. Now that will pick up the miner itself and whatever it's got stored. So we should also get 3 miners with 300 limestone. And as you can see in the bottom left corner, we have 3 portable miners and 300 limestone. So now we go back into the miner Mark 1. You see that we can now build it. So you can just rotate it round. You can face it whichever way you want it to do. And we'll put it about... yeah, there looks good. There is our miner Mark 1. Now just to go through the nodes now, as you noticed throughout the episode, I've been calling this pure nodes. So there are 3 different types of nodes. You have a impure, a normal, and a pure node. Now if we go into the mine itself, you can see that the output is 120 limestone per minute. Now that is because it is sat on a pure node. And a pure node is double the output of a normal node. So if this was on a normal node, it would say 60 per minute. And if it was on an impure node, it would read 30 per minute, because an impure is the opposite to the pure, so it is half the output. Now again, this will take 5 megawatts of power, hence the biomass burner, so we don't have to run the power all the way from the hub. It will produce the items at 0.5 per item. So we will lay out the rest of the items just like we put the miner down. So next we will go with the constructor. Because this limestone doesn't need refining, we don't actually need a smelter. So we'll put it close by so that we don't need to use as many conveyor belts to get there. So if you go to the logistics tab, we've got the conveyor pole and the conveyor belt. Now we don't need the pole because the conveyor belt should reach straight from the miner into the constructor. And then finally, just so we don't have to keep coming to empty the constructor out, we will actually make ourselves a storage bin. So that takes 10 plates, 10 rods, and again, we can lay this down a little bit fiddly. There we go. So it's not the greatest, but just for the purposes of what we're actually trying to do, again, we can just connect from there into that bin. So now we need to build ourselves a biomass burner, and we don't have the plates. Okie doke, so I'll be back in one moment. There we go, so now we've got plates. We'll find somewhere to pop this down. That'll do just there. Okay, so we need to attach this to a power pole. We just need the one because we've only got 2 buildings to run from it. So we'll connect that up and connect that up. Now in the constructor we'll go into it and select the recipe, so we can select any of the parts that take a single input to make. So the plates take just ingots, rods take just ingots, the screws take just rods, the wire takes just copper ingots, the cable takes wire, and as you can see, the concrete takes straight limestone. So we'll put this as concrete. As you can see, it's 45 per minute, which gives us a 15 per minute output of concrete. So whilst I was going to make some plates back at the hub, I have taken the liberty to make ourselves the biomass. So this should last a little bit longer in the burner. So as you can see, this takes 6 seconds to burn rather than the 0.8 of the lead. You can see that the capacity is 30 rather than the 20 of the smaller one attached to the hub. We're consuming 5.1 megawatts between the miner and the constructor. Max consumption of 9 megawatts when they're both working together. And as you can see, we are nowhere near the capacity, so we don't need to worry about the system overloading. As you can see, the miner will spit out the limestone. This will head on into the constructor, and we will get out the fix-it concrete. And as I say, so we don't need to keep emptying this constructor. It can just keep passively making us concrete, heading here into the storage bin, collecting itself up for us. All we'll have to do from time to time is just add in a little bit more fuel to keep this biomass burner going. And so then that will cover it for the first episode of our Satisfactory playthrough. So then, what can you expect to come next? So in the next episode, as I said, I'm going to do a bit of off-camera work just so it doesn't get a bit stale. I'll have a production line set up on the iron and a mini production line set up on the copper node. So as I say, I'll do those off camera and I'll just quickly run you through the 2 lines, what the items are that we're having made. And then what we'll look at doing is we'll look at unlocking some more of the milestones in the hub, get ourselves some more parts, some more buildings and some more logistics work, and we'll get started on laying out the foundations for the start of our starter factory. So I hope you've enjoyed this experience on Planet Massage 2A BB. It's been a pleasure to have you all with me. I look forward to having you in the next episode. But for now, spiderlings, make sure you have yourself a wonderful day. See ya!